Hello, hello, hello. Let's see. Did it work? Yay, I see somebody's on. Okay. 2 people. Trying to fix this tripod. I think we're good though. How is it going? Can y'all hear me okay? Let's see. In case of... All right, let's see. Hey, John. How are you doing? You feeling okay? Meg says, hi from South Lake Tahoe. How's the weather out there right now? I'm getting a little worried about being out in the desert this first stretch. So the plan is to drive into Idlewild, and let's see. Thomas says loud and clear now. Let's see. Oh, now to see you. Okay. I was like, now to see Yuppie. You can't see me? Oh, are you saying, hold on, I'm lost. Robert says, hear you fine. Meg says it's supposed to snow and rain today. No, I need it to not do that. John says, much better, thanks. Good. Nice to see you. Okay, I was like, wait a second. I thought you might have meant that, but I didn't want to assume that you thought it was nice to see me, because that sounds arrogant. So I was like, now, and then I was like, wait, he said now to see you? So I thought you were saying it sounds good, but I can't see you. So anyway, now that we got all that worked out, y'all can see me and hear me okay. So I think we're leaving first thing in the morning. I actually have to record another video today. I have 1.5 to record. So we put up the tent the other day and just looked at it and everything. So kind of like with the other hikes where I've got gear videos coming out about new gear that I'm using, I did the same thing for my big 3 because my big 3 are different this time. So we are going to be using the Z-Packs Triplex for our shelter. And then we're going to be, I'm using a quilt this time from Enlightened Equipment. The funny thing about that is I was afraid that they weren't going to ship here in time, so I had them sent to Idlewild. So I have to actually make that video about the quilt once I'm out there. But it turns out they arrived today, so they would have gotten here in time. But, I was just worried about it. I didn't want to have to get my sister to overnight it after it got here, so it's not that big of a deal. I'll just have to find a space to record a video about that and then go ahead and get it to Aaron as soon as I can once we get out there. For my pack, I'm using the Gossamer Gear Mariposa. I'm not sure if y'all are familiar with that one, but so those are my big 3. My mom is using the Z-Packs Arc Haul. She has an Enlightened Equipment sleeping bag, and then again the triplex for our shelter. So, but we are leaving hopefully tomorrow morning. I've got to make the video that just talks about the tent a little bit. I've already recorded the tent, but I just want to talk about the features of it. And then I'm making a video on Fancy's gear and kind of her story. So I got to make those 1.5 videos, and then sometime today, tomorrow morning, and then we'll be heading out. So anyway, let's see. Daryl says, good afternoon. Larry says, hi all. Robert says, 2 people in the triplex. I am having real condensation issues in the duplex. Really? So is it falling on you like rain, or is it running down? Because it should run down into the mesh perimeter. Also, when you sleep, if you leave one of the vestibule doors open, that helps a lot. So if it's not raining, then, that definitely helps a lot. So, I certainly had condensation here. It's a single wall tent, so you're going to have that. But mine always, it didn't drip down on me or anything. It would just run down that mesh area. So it was never, pulling up on me. But, oops. Okay, let's see. So, yeah, I'll let you know how it works. So it'll be 2 of us and my little dog, Fancy. So I was 1 minute late starting this because I think everybody in Opelika took their dog to the vet this morning. So we went because she had the rattlesnake shot about a month ago. So we had to go in today to get her booster, and I wanted to get her nails trimmed right before we went so they're short and don't cause us any issues. So yeah, we went and did all that, and like everybody and their brother and their brother's dog was at the vet. So I was like, oh my gosh, we're really pushing it. But my mom was taking her dog for a checkup just before we head out. So I handed her my debit card and I was like, can you pay for this? I'm just going to take Fancy home because I've got the Q&A. But anyhow, so so yeah, literally just got back. I'm at mom's now, but okay. Let's see. Daryl says, did you ever find out how many miles you have for the PCT? Are there any concerns for miles you need to make up that may still be closed? Okay, so I'm not 100% sure that all of the areas are open. I think most of them are. We're looking at roughly, I would say 250 to 300 miles. Now that's miles that were actually closed. So depending on what access points we can get to with the vehicle or shuttles, we may end up having to do a little bit more than that. But and we're not going to quite have exactly 6 months, but say it was 300 miles and we had 60 days, and that's an average of 5 miles per day. So I think we're going to be good. But worst case, we come home and I have to go back out there or something. I don't know. So, but anyway, I think that we're going to be good. But the first one is in Idlewild, and that one is open. So I'm kind of, as far as the logistics for each one, I'm going like as we approach them, because we might meet people out there that are willing to help us, etc. So I haven't like lined up shuttles in each place. Also, I want mom to hitchhike some. But yeah, our first stretch is Idlewild area. I'm a little bit concerned how hot it's going to be there. Having Fancy, the black dog, in the desert area. But that area going into Idlewild and where I had to cut out is kind of like it was in trees and such. So I'm hoping that it's not going to be too hot on us starting out. But I mean, we may have to start out doing majority night hikes and just hanging out in the shade during the day. I guess we'll see how it goes, but we'll adjust and do what we have to. We're not gonna I'm not gonna push my mom and my dog to hike in the heat, cracking a whip on them and making them go on or anything like that. So, but yeah, so that's about the mileage we're looking at. And as far as logistics for each piece, we're just gonna approach that as we get there. So, okay, let's see. That was a good question and a very relative or relatable one, whatever word I'm looking for here, because we're about to head out. So Sally says hi. Robert says, I haven't tried leaving a door open. I will let you know. Yeah, I know that it's like more comfortable and it feels more like safe and like you're in your little realm if all the doors are shut. But if you are having condensation issues, that will help. Also, if you don't camp by water, so if you camp right by a creek or something like that, I've noticed that I have way more condensation than if I camp away from water. So that might be another helpful tip. Let's see. Hey, Dixie, weird question. I'm 23 and really want to thru-hike the PCT in the coming years, but my boyfriend of 5 years neither wants to join me or let me go. Do you think the trail is worth a breakup? Oh, man. I'll say this, and I cannot tell you, and I think that this is a very important question, and something that you should ask yourself, because my bigger issue with all of it is, and I know that it's hard to be away from somebody for that long, but like if he was able to go somehow and support you or come out for visits, I don't know y'all's financial limitations or anything like that, or if you have them, but I think the bigger issue is, do you, and this is what I would tell, like if this was my sister or my brother dealing with a significant other that was not their spouse, that they hadn't like committed to life with, okay? I would ask them how important it was to them to have a partner that is supportive of them and their dreams and their goals. And obviously, especially if you've invited this person to do something like this with you and they have declined, I could see them having more of a problem with it if you were like, I don't want you there, I don't want you to be a part of this or whatever, that would be bad, right? So, and I'm not saying that it's not okay for a person to want a solo hike, if they have a significant other, that's between those two people. But anyway, I guess I'm saying I could see your boyfriend being upset if you were like, this is something I want to do and I don't want you to be a part of it or be involved. But the fact that you wanted to include this person and they still don't want to, and they also don't want you to do it, as long as it's not something that's like disrespecting your relationship, then I think it's just important for you to ask yourself, like, it's not just the through hike, like, is this person going to be supportive of other dreams and goals, and that would be the bigger underlying issue for me. So I can't answer that question for you, but, I guess it also says something that you're even considering a breakup, over a through hike. So it's like this person is potentially less important to me than a through hike, so I think just kind of analyzing all of that for yourself and maybe have another talk with them. Like maybe they were just like, nah, I don't know how much you've sat down and said like, look, this is really a big deal to me. And I think that rather than just being like, well, he said one time he wouldn't want me to do it, so I'm done. Like maybe sit down and just say like, this is a huge deal to me. Like, I hope you can be supportive of me. I really want to do this. I would like to do this and also have you in my life, but like if you're not supportive of me doing this, then it could be a deal breaker, So that's how I would suggest to a friend or a sibling to handle it. So I hope that helps. And I think that that's kind of how I would handle it myself too. So, but yeah, that, it very well could be worth it. It's what it's worth to you, So, okay. Let's see. Lee says, howdy, I'm glad you made it on, Lee. Yeah, it was funny. You emailed me right as I was about to send that to you. Like I had just copied the link. So Thomas says, I watched some of your old PCT videos today. Now I wonder, how do people with heavy backpacks cross torrential creeks on those scrawny logs without slipping and drowning? Can you train for that? I mean, certainly you could probably work on your balance, right? You could train to have better balance. And I think that as you're hiking out there, and even, when we hit the Sierra, it's 700 miles in. So your body at this point is used to carrying this weight and skipping from rock to rock, or, you practice like as you're crossing smaller creeks, like trying to stay on rocks to keep your feet dry, or even other logs. So I think, people when they get to the Sierra are more prepared for that because they've been on the trail for 700 miles. So they're more limber, they're stronger, and also they've had situations where they've slipped and almost fell and caught themselves, so their reflexes are a little bit better, and probably their balance has improved. So, if you were going to go on a section hike and something like that, sure. I mean, find a log and put, you could set 2 logs out and then lay one across it and kind of practice crossing on it, just to practice your balance and with the pack and all that. But And I don't see it hurting. But I don't think that most of those people who are out there on the thru hike trained other than like starting the hike, and by the time they got there, they were good. So my voice is still kind of scratchy and kind of gone. So from trail days. By the way, trail days was awesome, y'all. I know I just kind of like jumped right into this PCT fire closure thing because that's like obviously what's on my mind right now more than anything. But yeah, trail days was so great, and I got to meet some patrons there, and I met just a ton of people and talked for 3 days straight, and my voice is just shot. So, but it's come back. It's come back slowly. John says, is there any information on gut hooks or elsewhere about restoration work on the now 2-year-old PCT fire closure areas? Will you 3 have to be climbing over soot-covered firefall across the trail? So I think not all of the closure areas were actually burned themselves. A lot of them were closed because a fire was near, and for safety they went ahead and closed it so that the fire didn't cross the trail. And Daryl actually asked me this not that long ago. So it's not going to be, I don't think, like everything is burnt. I mean, a lot of the PCT you're walking through burn areas anyway, but I'm not aware of anywhere that has like updates to the actual condition of the trail and restoration and all that. But in 2 years, as long as an area that's been burned, as long as it hasn't been burned again, you probably see some poodle dog bush popping up, and some plants that you see come up first after something like that. Poodle dog bush is some nasty stuff. I'm gonna have to tell Mom about that and try to keep Fancy out of it. And yeah, I'm not necessarily looking forward to dodging that stuff again, but it's all part of the adventure. So, okay, let's see. But that is a good question, John. But I don't think like all of it's gonna be just charred. The other John says, so happy for you and your mom. Hope you have a fair weather for your journey. Looking forward to following you again this year. Thank you very much. I really appreciate the well wishes. I hope we do too. My sister Rebecca was crying last night. She was like, I can't believe you're taking Mom, and what if something happens, but I was like, we're gonna have the inReach, we're gonna have, just we'll be fine. Like, we'll have ways to call for help. A lot of times we'll have service, so it's funny. I'm like, were you not worried about me? And she's like, yeah, but it's different. This is my mom. Now you're taking her out there, but I think it's going to be a good time. Let's see. Andrea says, hi, Dixie. Happy to hear about your adventures. Quick question with Fancy's gear. Are you carrying an emergency carry system for her? So are you talking about like just first aid type stuff? Because I am going to carry probably more bandaging and stuff than I have before because of her paws. Seeing my friend Milestone with her dog Ragnar, he got a couple blisters and stuff like that. So I probably will have more medical stuff just because it's my dog, and I think I probably care about her more than myself sometimes. But anyway, so like it's okay if I skimp on weight for myself, because then the only one suffering from my decision is me. But it's not Fancy's fault if I don't carry everything that she might need. So it's my fault. So I'm gonna take some, Neosporin, probably some more bandaging. I've got her some little shoes and socks if we need to use them. I'd rather her paws, toughen up and get used to it than have the boots, because they can rub also, and be uncomfortable for them. So I think that I'll only use those if her feet are hurting, or if we're in an area where it's like lava rock or real hot or something like that. Then I'll put them on, so her feet aren't hurting, and then I don't have to pick her up and carry her. But other than that, I'm probably going to carry some like liquid Benadryl. I know that you can give that to dogs if they're freaking out. So if we have an episode at night in the tent or something like that, or also if, she's bit by a snake, because I've read up on some things where it says like that doesn't help. But I think that more than actually helping with the reaction, it's like keeping her calm in a situation like that. So we had this rattlesnake vaccine that will buy us time if she's bitten. It's not like, oh yeah, she's completely immune now, but I'm trying to take the best precautions that I can ahead of time. But also, I have read that Benadryl can help, but again, for keeping her calm. So I'll have some of that. And then, what did I say? Neosporin, bandaging. And as far as anything else, like that's it for what I can think of. But if y'all have any other suggestions of, more likely injuries. Oh, also I'm going to get some of that Mushers wax for her feet. So, and in fact, I need to add that to my list of things that I need to get before we go. But each stretch we'll be able to go to town or change some things up if we need to. So that's going to be the convenient thing about having a vehicle, is I can get where I have to. So, okay. Let's see. Robert says, how are you planning on keeping Fancy cool in extreme conditions? Have you thought about a reflective space blanket? Just a thought. So keeping her cool, no, I haven't actually thought about the space blanket. That's not, I guess that might not be a terrible, like if we're sitting there taking breaks, I am going to have an umbrella so I can shade us. And there in general is way more shade on the PCT than on the CDT. And this stretch going into Idlewild is not very long that we have to do. So, but yeah, the CDT, I wouldn't want to take a dog in the desert on the CDT, but the PCT is a little bit different. As far as keeping her cool, I'm going to tote for sure extra water. I'll be very careful with checking out water sources ahead of time. With the vehicle, if we have to cache water for ourselves, I will do that. I'm going to be very safe. I have two people, a person and a dog that I love very much, and that I don't want to have guilt for putting them in danger or them getting hurt or anything like that, because they're with me and doing something that I asked them to go do with me. So now, of course, Mom's not going unwillingly or anything like that, but Fancy is at my mercy. So yeah, I want to make sure that it's as enjoyable for her as possible. So but yeah, I am a little bit concerned. The only place I'm really concerned about the heat is that first stretch. So after that, we'll be up in northern, like California, near Etna. So Idlewild area and Etna area are the only two closures that I have to worry about in California. So anyway, but yeah, I mean, it is definitely a concern. So plenty of water, gonna have an umbrella. Maybe the emergency blanket wouldn't be bad to be able to just, like, I don't know, lay on her and keep some of the sun off if I had to, but I don't know how much that'll help. But let's see. Marjorie says, hello, best of luck with your hike. Looking forward to your updates. Thank you. I think these are going to be more vlog style-ish than episodes, because Aaron's thinking like it would make sense to have like one video per stretch, which makes sense to me. They will still, I'm still gonna capture critters and bugs and the experience of the trail and everything like that. So it's not going to just be me talking, being like, we're here now at this mile. It's still going to be a creative thing, but it won't be quite the same with the episodes. So anyway, it might have a little bit of a different feel, but I think y'all will still enjoy it, hopefully so, because I'm still recording the same stuff, Aaron's still editing, so hopefully it'll be good. Ron says, when it's 70 degrees at night, what do you sleep under? I sure don't need my 15-degree quilt tonight. I'm going to try a fleece blanket. Yeah, I think fleece blanket is a great option. You can get even those fleece sleeping bag liners. I have one of those. And they roll up and they have the zipper and all that. But yeah, a fleece blanket would probably be good. On the Appalachian Trail, all through the summer, I carried a fleece sleeping bag liner. That's what I used, and other people had fleece blankets. So yeah, you should be good. Let's see. Okay, and by the way, it's so good to talk to y'all, because I mean, it's been a minute, and I'm sorry it's been so long. It has been like since I spoke at Wofford College, it's been like bam, 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 just like one thing right after the next. And in case y'all didn't read the post, I do have another speaking engagement August 18th at the Blue Blaze Brewing Company in Charlotte, North Carolina. So, and it's kind of cool. So I hadn't like officially mentioned it, but since we're all here and talking and pretty much like tramily, I guess I can tell y'all. So I've been seeing this fella for a while, and his name is Marty. It's spelled M-A-R, capital D, lowercase e. So his name is Marlon, and then middle name is Devon, but his dad's name is Devon, so it's like Mardy. His parents named him that. I thought he was just trying to be like different or something, with the way he spelled his name, but that's like actually how his parents spelled it. But anyway, so I've been dating him for a few months. Well, I've been knowing him since around Christmas time. So, but he came to Trail Days with me, and I know some folks met him there and everything. And there was a whole point for me bringing this up. I can't really remember right now. Wow. There was a whole point for me telling all this. Let me see what the last question was. I know it wasn't to do with the question. But there was a point in me saying that. Maybe it'll come back to me. But if I mention Marty, y'all will know who he is. But yeah, back to the person who asked the question about, the relationship and everything. It's very important to me to have somebody in my life that's supportive. And, oh, yes, the brewery thing. That's why I brought it up. So he is getting to play music. He's a musician. So he'll be playing music before the talk at, I about said Wofford College, at Blue Blaze Brewing. There we go. So he's opening, playing music there, and then I'll talk. And that, like, I didn't plan for that to happen. It's just the girl who booked me doing it. She was like, I've been noticing that this guy that's like on your feed on Facebook is a musician. I don't know if he's your boyfriend or what, but does he want to play music there? So anyway, and with me going on this trip and everything, he's been very supportive. So back to that question, I do think that that's important. I do really think it's important. So anyhow, but yeah, if y'all make it to the talk in Charlotte, it'll be good because we're gonna have music and then the talk and good brews. So I hope some of y'all will be able to make it there. All right. So I got off on that strange tangent, but okay. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. Hey, from Kelly in South Lake Tahoe. What is your whole plan on hiking parts of the PCT? Will you be near Tahoe? Would love to help you. Okay. Yeah, I saw, well, when you said South Lake Tahoe, I was like, that's Kelly. But it says Meg. So I was like, wait, what? Are two people in South Lake Tahoe? Anyway, okay. So what is your whole plan on hiking parts of the PCT? Will you be near Tahoe? Would love to help you. Okay. So we'll be near Etna. But the first one's near Idlewild, and then the second one, if I remember correctly, I have it listed out, but is Etna area. So, and it's like a side trail in Etna to Syed Valley. I made it there. So it's like there's this road that I have to walk from the road to the side trail. So it's going to be a piecemeal thing, but basically we're taking one piece at a time and figuring out the logistics as we get there, because I don't know exactly what shuttle services are available, and I didn't want to schedule everything out to certain dates. I still want this trip to be fun and relaxing. My mom's never seen the Pacific coast, so she's never seen the Pacific Ocean. She's never been in Oregon, Washington, or California. So I do want us to kind of sightsee a few things like as we're driving up to the next stretch and everything like that. So we're just taking it a piece at a time, probably going to rely on some trail angels. But I don't remember exactly how far Etna is from South Lake Tahoe, but I don't feel like it's super, super close. So, okay. Oh, I saw Robin type something. Okay. Anyway, all right, I keep scrolling past. So, but I appreciate the offer for help, for sure. I really do appreciate that. And, as some things happen, and we're in different areas, I appreciate the offers that some of y'all have extended to help us, and we may end up having to take y'all up on that, So sometimes it's just like things happen on the fly. So somebody's like, hey, do you need a ride? And I right then can be like, yes. So instead of like scheduling something and all that, it's just easier to just go with it, kind of like a thru-hike. So, okay, let's see. Jim says, hey, Dixie, first Q&A in a while. Yeah, it is. I know. I'm glad to be. That's why I was like, I don't care if we have to leave the next day. Like, we are doing a Patreon Q&A, and I wanted it to be at a different time because normally I do them in the evenings, and I'm not sure how long we'll be driving during the day or what the service will be like, but I might do like an on-the-fly Q&A thing, while we're road tripping out there or something. So, but I wanted to have a good established one so people would have a chance to get on and y'all could ask questions before we head out. So, okay, let's see. Thank you so much for your advice. You're welcome. I hope that helps. So it's just hard to tell somebody else what to do, especially with matters of the heart, right? So, and I don't want to be like responsible for you breaking up with your soulmate or something, but, okay. So Amanda says, starting a month-long AT section hike next month. When you did your thru hike, did you meet a lot of section hikers, or was it just folks in the bubble? No, I met a good many section hikers, and it was always good talking to them because they were still like excited and fresh. I feel like after a while, thru hikers meet so many people along the way that you almost, I won't say become like an introvert, but you don't take the time to speak to other thru hikers that you may never see again. Does that make sense? Not to speak, but like to get to know. So, for example, when I first start out, I'm like, hey, my name's Dixie. Like, where are you from? I'm from here. And I ask them questions about themselves. And then I might see them one other time, and then I never see them again. So you do that like 100 times with different people, and then you realize just because we're all out here, I probably won't see some of these people again. So you kind of wait until you realize that you're on pace with somebody else and you've seen them like 3, 4, 5 times, and then it's like, then you really start to get to know each other. And you're still cordial and make small talk before that, but that's at the point where you're like, okay, it's worth investing like some more brain cells to like remember things about this person because there's a good chance that I'm going to keep seeing them. But with section hikers are so, not all of them, right? But like so fresh and excited and willing to chat and meet people again. So it's like a breath of fresh air. So yeah, I did meet some along the way, and I'd always try to, plant the seed of a through hike. Like, oh, if you keep hanging out here, you're gonna end up like us. Plant that seed. But I know some folks can't. But I think a lot of the section hikers that I met, did aspire to through hike. But some of them were like, nope. I love section hiking. I love being able to pick the weather and the section and everything that I'm doing, and check out the area and the town around this section and all that. So, but yeah, I think that you'll see some through hikers if you're in the areas where bubbles are coming through. But still, you'll probably meet some flip floppers and things like that. So let's see. Robin says, "Hey Dixie, so glad for a Q&A." Yeah, I know it's been a minute. Fred says, "Hey Dixie, happy Memorial Day." Happy Memorial Day, y'all. Not just about barbecues and hanging out with friends, but also remembering those who died for us and our freedom. So I always try to keep that in mind, because it's always like, and Fred, I hope you don't think that I was like, lecturing you or something like that. But I do always try to keep that in mind. It's like Memorial Day is so looked at as it's like so fun, and there's no reason like we don't have to like cry to remember them, right? Like we can celebrate life and the freedom that we have that they gave us. But I do try to remember like we're having this day of celebration because of the people who gave all for us. So anyway, okay, let's see here. Let's see. Also, Amanda, I just want to ask you, you said you're starting a long section. So where exactly will you be? I'm sorry, I just like saw the question again, and I was like, I should ask her, because then we can try to figure out if you will be around the bubble. And yeah, the Memorial Day thing, I don't know. I see so many folks on Facebook that are like, it's not Veterans Day. Don't thank people for their service. And I'm like, yes, while I do think it's important to know there's a difference between Veterans Day and Memorial Day, it's like thanking somebody for their service is not like the end of the world, So, so I wasn't trying to be preachy or anything. All right, Susie says, just tuning in. Hope you, your mom, and Fancy have a fantastic trip. Thank you very, very, very much. Let's see. Hey Dixie, what do you use to tighten down the lid on your bear canister? Knowing me, I'd surely lose something like a coin. Yeah, for a while I had a dime duct tape to the top of my bear can. But what I finally ended up using was just the end of my, I think I still had a spork then. I think it became a spooner on the CDT. So, but the end of like a titanium spork or spoon or whatever your preference is worked for me. So that's what I ended up using. Let's see. River says, "Hey y'all, hey River, how's it going for you? How you doing?" Robert says, "Talk to your vet about carrying polysporin instead of neosporin. Some animals and humans have developed reactions to neosporin." Okay, well I appreciate that. I appreciate that advice. A lot of folks are like, "Don't give me unwarranted advice." Like I'm always open to, if I say something and you're like, "Well, that's cool and all, but this might be better. Look into that." I'm definitely open to that. So thank you. I appreciate that. I should have a pen and paper in here, but I'll need to remember that. So I need to check into that. And there was something else earlier that I was like, I need to grab this. Oh, Musher's wax. So yeah, I appreciate that though. Andrea says it's an airlift for dogs. It's 8 ounces found here. Wait, what is this? I'm gonna have to check that out. Phytoprotection. What do you mean it's airlift for dogs? I'll have to, it's 8 ounces. I'm gonna have to look at that. So I can't, if I click it right now, it's gonna take me, let me just, maybe if I copy it, let's see. Oh, it's trying to make me put you in timeout. Okay, let's see. Nope, it's not gonna let me do it right now. If you don't mind, on Patreon, do you mind messaging that to me, Andrea? If you don't mind, that would be cool. The doggy boots that I got are Roughwear. They're from Roughwear. I can't remember the exact ones right now. they have like several different types, so it's like more of like the all-terrain tires. So yeah, it's more of the all-terrain ones. Take a little sip of water. Look, y'all, I didn't even plan this, but I'm like hardcore representing Auburn right now. I got my water and my coffee. Who else is drinking coffee right now? Anybody else? Because it's like one of those coffee kind of days for me. I've about got everything pieced together, but I'm like double fisting here. But I feel like I'm going to forget something, so I'm kind of stressing out a little bit. And I know coffee probably doesn't help with stress, but it makes me feel like it does. So cheers. Yes, War Eagle and go Tigers. Thank y'all. Okay, let's see. Okay, met a couple of dogs out here, told you about the one. I bet the trail is as beneficial for Fancy as it is for us humans. I hope so, y'all. So here's the thing with Fancy. She's a dog that doesn't like other dogs except the dogs that she's grown up with forever. So, and I think I've mentioned that to y'all before. So if other people respect our space and, other people's dogs respect our space, then we will be fine, because I'm not going to have her off leash. She will be on leash because I know that she doesn't like other dogs. And to me, if you have a dog that can be aggressive to other dogs, you need to have control of them 24/7. So with that said, she's in love with Hank. She loves my mom's dog, Carolina. But new dogs, if they approach her, she does not like it, and she will bite them. And so, I'm really hoping that with having me and my mom, that if I see a dog approaching, my mom can go ahead and just kind of try to like stop the dog, and then I can slide her muzzle on real quick. So I'm going to have it like easy access, and we'll be working with it every day so she gets more and more comfortable with it. So if we're in concentrated areas with other dogs where I feel like people are going to let their dog be off leash, because just because your dog is friendly and is a wonderful dog does not mean that all dogs love other dogs running up in their space. It's just like humans. Some people really are introverts and prefer their personal space, and some really love to talk to folks, but you have to respect other people's space, right? So not everyone's going to do that, and I understand. So we're getting prepared for that, because I certainly don't want her hurting somebody else's baby, but I really do think that being on the trail is going to help her mentality a lot, and putting in that exercise and all that. So I'm hoping that with the muzzle, if we see other dogs and we're having a good day, we've had a lot of exercise, she knows her mom's got treats, we have the muzzle on that we're comfortable with now, another dog comes up, they sniff butts, maybe Fancy wags her tail instead of getting upset, and, gets a treat for being a good girl. So I'm hoping that this is going to allow her to work through some of that in a safe, atmosphere for her and other dogs too. So we'll see though. We'll see. So that's what I'm really hoping, because I want her to be, good, happy dog. She's never going to be a dog that I can take to a dog park and turn loose and have fun. And I don't expect that of her, but I do expect of her to not, try to fight somebody. So I'm just hoping that we can work through this. But I think that a lot of her anxiety and aggression towards some other dogs is fear-based. I think that she's just a big scaredy cat. So, because her first instinct is to run away. She tries to run away. And if the dog comes up to her, then she's like, well, I tried to run, I tried to go, and now you're up on me. So it's kind of like, I'm going to get you before you can get me thing, I think. But, so anyway, that was a long rant. But let's see. Okay, so yeah, I think that you're right, that it can very well help dogs just like it does people. So let's see, okay, there we are. All right, Larry says, a weird idea for Fancy. If you had many water sources, could you maybe take a light towel and periodically get the towel soaked and put it on her like a doggy sweater? Yeah. I mean, and I'll take, my bottle of water and stuff and pour it on her and rub her down and all that stuff. So I'm certainly going to work on keeping her cool. And I know that they have those like Cool Max type towels and stuff, but with her fur and stuff, I don't know how well that works. I guess I could put it on her belly, to help cool her down. But yeah, that's not a bad idea. Lee says, I may have missed it, but what pack did you get fancy? How much does she weigh? So I got her the rough wear. I cannot remember the name of it right now. I know if I look it up, it's a red pack, if that helps at all. It's the one that you can take the, why is my computer not logging in? You can take the, oh, because I have cap locks on. Look at that. You can take the pack off of the vest though, so, or the harness, the vest. I mean, same thing, I guess. But let's see, rough wear. It's going to be the first one that pops up. I just know it. Palisades. There we go. So yeah, it's the red Palisades pack, and she weighs somewhere around 40 pounds. And so we were just at the vet, and I forgot to ask them. So my mom is still there with her dog, and I called her when I was on the way back home, and I said, please call them because I want to make sure that, you know, I'm not like putting too much weight on her. So if she's around 40, then I probably won't do quite 10 pounds. You know, I'll back off a little bit. She's a very energetic and strong dog and young dog. So, you know, I think she's going to be fine. But hey, if it's hot out there and she's like, you know, it seems like she's very hot, then I'll take her pack off of her and throw it on top of my pack. Like, I'm not going to make my dog suffer being out there, period. So I will suffer first before she will. But I think, you know, if she was 40 on the dot, I'd probably do, they say like 25%. So I'd probably do no more than 8 pounds or so. So we'll see. I say that, you know, if she does very well with that, then I will go up to the max that you're supposed to do, or not supposed to do, that you can do, because I really do think that she's going to outrun us out there. Like, I think that she's going to be like trucking along like, guys, you know, keep up. And I have I have a shorter leash that I'm taking and a much longer one. So, you know, that way when we're setting up in camp or something like that, I can hook her to a stump or a tree or my pack, you know, and let her get that feeling of a little bit of freedom. And while we walk, I might even have her on that one, because I'm thinking I'll lead, she'll be behind me, and then my mom will be behind her. That way we have her sandwiched in the middle, or mom ahead, and then I'll let Fancy walk ahead of me, and, you know, so. But I've been walking around her a little bit with some trekking poles, like around the neighborhood and all, and she seems not too freaked out by those or anything like that. So, okay, let's see. Wondering where you see yourself and your work 10 years from now. Wondering, not wondering. I knew what you meant. So that's a very good question. You know, I eventually would like to, you know, like get married and have a family and things like that. But I don't want to stop adventuring. So, for example, if I was, you know, married and was trying to have a child and say I was pregnant, you know, I was waiting that period, then in that time, I think I would certainly continue educational type things. But that would be a prime time to like continue writing, and work on some other sides of this whole brand. But, you know, I don't know. I mean, I can still see myself doing some things with a small child, like Ellie on the AT. I talk about them a lot. They go by the Dirtbag Baby now on Instagram, but they took Ellie on the Appalachian Trail when I believe she's 10 to 11 months old when they started. And then the following year, so in 2017, they were on the AT. In 2018, last year, they were on the Great Divide Trail it's a biking path from Canada to Mexico along the Great Divide. And so, I mean, they continue to do things like that with her. And so that's my goal, is to just continue all of this. And it doesn't necessarily have to be backpacking, but other adventures, biking, floating rivers, etc. So I you know, I'd like to just kind of keep doing stuff like this. And of course, I understand that things change with the time, but say that YouTube crashed tomorrow and, you know, I couldn't do exactly what I'm doing now anymore. Then I don't know. I mean, I can never see myself going back to an 8 to 5 unless I just have to, unless it's like my family's gonna be hungry, you know. So otherwise, I think I would start some kind of business, like a dog sitting business, or you know what I've really been thinking about, and I don't know if it exists, but for like when I retire someday or something, is do they have doggy masseuses? Because I'm all the time when I meet a dog, I'm like rubbing its back, you know, and getting in the shoulders and everything, and they love it. So I know that there are some people who love their dogs, because I love mine, and love to spoil them. And I just wonder if that's actually a thing, like massage therapy for dogs. I'm sure for injuries and stuff, and that would be kind of cool. But so I don't know if there are like schools for that, or you just do the human and try to do the human version and try to like convert it to dogs. But anyway, to continue on your question, you know, I would like to do more speaking events. So that's something that I can do, you know, regardless if I'm like going on backpacking trips or not. And, you know, people have talked about guiding services. So there are a lot of options and different ways to expand other than just like going on a hike or some kind of an adventure and making videos, you know. So there are other ways that I feel like I can expand this. But yeah, and people are all the time sending me suggestions and thoughts and things like that. So yeah, I'm not going anywhere for a while, for a long, long while. And if I have my way, like I will be doing this, you know, for like until I retire, and then I'll still be doing it, but maybe just not documenting it, right? Just kidding. I mean, I can't even imagine being out on an adventure and not like recording nature. It wouldn't even feel right. So, okay, let's see. So I hope that answers your question, Robin. Snow just about everywhere from Sierra North to Canada, and still snowing. Snowed in Tehachapi this week. Another crazy year. No, I have to go there and hike. I know. I'm kind of worried. I'm just hoping by the, you know, towards the end, because we've got to do from White Pass to Snoqualmie Pass in Washington, and I don't want Mom to have to deal with an ice axe and micro spikes. I really don't. So, I don't know. I'm hoping that some of that's going to be gone, but I guess we'll find out. Okay, Jim says, oh no, memory going. Y'all are too young for that. Y'all make a cute couple and look super happy. Thanks. Look super happy. So glad for. Well, thank you, Jim. I appreciate that. Yeah, he's a very nice fella. Very, very nice fella. So, okay, let's see. Have you considered hiking the Great Divide Trail? It's basically an extension of the CDT into Canada. Maybe, you know, for now, I think I want to explore potentially some shorter trails. So like the Florida Trail, or the Penhodi, but I also want to do like the TA in New Zealand, so some things overseas. And in the fall, I'm doing with my sister the Camino, and we still haven't decided. We have to. We're going to talk about this tonight. That's like one of the things we're going to sit down and talk about and get plane tickets for Spain. But we're still kind of up in the air on the Francis or the Norte. So we'll see. We'll see what we decide. I'm kind of leaning towards the Francis just because it's like the Camino experience, you know, and then we could always do the Norte later. But I'm like, I don't know if she and I will be there doing it later, so I kind of want to do what one she wants to do. So I don't know. We'll see. Mark says, good afternoon. Good afternoon to you, Mark. Lloyd says, do you feel like Fancy is up to the hike now? Yes, I feel like we set up the triplex the other day, and she got in there and just laid down. I said kennel, you know. So I think that there's going to be some freak out points, you know. I'm expecting that, but with an anxious dog, that's what you get, you know. And I think that this is going to really help her learn to trust me and to go, okay, if Mom says this is okay, it's going to be okay, you know. And that's important to me because Hank is almost 12 and a half now. He'll be 13 in December. And he's not going to be around forever. And, you know, that's kind of been her security blanket for all these years. And she has to learn that, you know, even with Hank not around, like she has to, you know, I'm her person and I'm her mom. And she has, it's funny, ever since we did the obedience classes, she really has like latched onto me. And when I'm over here at Mom's and Hank's here and my mom's here, you know, usually she would kind of just lay wherever Hank was, but she's gotten to where she if I get up and walk in another room, she gets up and follows me. Like, she's kind of relying on me for that, like, confidence booster. So I'm glad, we're bonding more. So, but yeah, I think that yes, we could have gone on some trial runs and things like that here, but to potentially prepare her more, but it's going to be the same thing when we get out there and go on the first stretch, so, but yeah, I think we're going to be all right. Let's see. Amanda says Springer Mountain and going as far north as I can. Awesome. My hopes is to fully hike the trail section by section unless I end up hating it. Yeah, of course. And if you hate it, like, why would you want to continue, right? So that's cool though. That's really awesome. So I think starting at Springer and going north, you might not see many northbound through hikers. Most of them are most Nobo through hikers start at the latest, like the beginning of May. So I doubt that you'll see any of those. You could see some flip-floppers. You should see a lot of section hikers. I mean, people are out there all over the place all the time. So, but anyhow, so that's good though. I mean, just go and do all you can and enjoy yourself. I think that's the biggest thing, not tying yourself to a certain end point. Just give yourself that time to like really, really enjoy it. So it's going to be a good trip. What was the most severe weather you have encountered on the trail? Lightning, probably. Well, lightning and hail. Hail hurts immediately. Lightning scares you to where you're like, is this about to hurt? Lightning hurts your mind more than hail. But yeah, on the CDT was the worst weather, I would say. On the AT, I got a little bit of hail, but it was never as bad as on the CDT. Also, it wasn't as exposed. So through Colorado and even Wyoming was kind of rough with some weather. So just hail and lightning, because it's scary. It's scary when you're up on an open area and you can't do anything about it. Okay, let's see. By the way, I think we knew you were seeing Marty. The only jobs you have on the upcoming hike are to take care of your family and have fun. After 7,000 miles, you know how to do the hiking thing. Thank you. Yeah, I know. I know some people on Facebook. I've seen them and stuff, but I don't know. I guess like it's kind of crazy. Like I feel like if I don't tell you all about something, it's almost like I'm keeping a secret or something, which it's not been that at all. It's just, I don't know. I'm not like a super like mushy person, So I don't know. And I guess I don't like it when I see people post stuff on Facebook, and I'm not, if y'all do this, to each his own, but when people post stuff that like they just started seeing somebody and they're like, oh my God, I've met my soulmate. This person is so wonderful and so great. And I love them so much. And then like a week later, that person doesn't show up anymore and they never do again. And then then it's somebody new, So I guess I'm hesitant when I start dating somebody to like, I don't know, make it public or something. I don't know. I guess I just, yeah, I don't know. Like folks don't always have to be all up in your business, So anyhow, yeah. All right. Let's see. All right. Scrolling. All right. And thank you, Fred. I hope that we do have fun. Oh, we got 55 folks on here now. We were at 40 something earlier. Thank y'all for stopping in and hanging out. I know that y'all could be doing other stuff today. It's a beautiful day here in Alabama. It's hot, very hot. And my AC doesn't have truck. And my truck doesn't have AC. Okay. Jimmy says, hey, Dixie, thanks for the Q&A. Enjoy your time with your mom and Fancy. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Alan says, hey, Dixie, so glad to see you planning the hike with your mother and Fancy. I have been watching all your hikes from the beginning and really enjoyed them. Keep up the good work. Thank you. I really appreciate that. See, y'all are so encouraging. I really, really appreciate that. Your post encouraged me to walk the Great Saunter, which is 32 miles around the perimeter of Manhattan. Awesome. I started at 7:30 a.m. and finished at 11 p.m., one of the last ones, but I did. Wow, that is really cool. That's crazy. That is awesome. I bet your feet were hurting so bad. I could not. I mean, I guess I shouldn't say I couldn't, but like I am not confident in my ability if I had to go walk 32 miles right now that I could do that. So that is very impressive. And I don't care if people say it's flat because that hurts your feet when you're not used to it. So that's really cool. That's really cool. Thank you for sharing that with me. Let's see. Ordered my Z-Packs duplex this morning to replace my worn out North Face tadpole. If I don't like it, I'm blaming you. Don't do that. Don't do that. I mean, you can blame me, but don't be mean. No, I mean, so many people tell me they love it. So I really do like mine. I mean, I had the duplex on 2 through hikes, and I'm taking the triplex on this hike. So obviously, if I hated it, I wouldn't be still working. Well, I shouldn't say working with Z-Packs because I don't work with them. I wouldn't still be purchasing items from Z-Packs to work or to use. Wow, I can't talk, y'all. I guess I get so paranoid about that, or not paranoid, but so like uptight about it because I've had so many people accuse me of like working for Z-Packs or being Z-Packs billboard or another gear company, you know, and I don't know. I don't get paid by them. I don't trade free gear for promotions like of their products. I don't do any of that stuff. I don't trade gear for reviews. Like I don't want sponsored because I just feel like that puts me in a position to be more biased. And I mean everyone's biased. Like if you use a piece of gear, when you're recommending it to somebody else, like you are biased on your experience with it. But anyway, so no, I do not, get paid or by any gear companies or anything like that. So you have to actually disclose that information. But anyway, yeah. So I just talk about them and say that I like it because I actually do. So I hope you do like it too, and then you don't get mad at me. Jim says, while at Trail Days representing Homemade Wanderlust Nations while wearing y'all's t-shirt, had only positive comments from so many folks at Trail Days. Good. Well, I hope you had fun there, Jim. It was a good time. It was very crazy, a lot going on, but it was good. And thank you for stopping by. River says, pretty good. Made it to Hiker Town. That's a strange little place, ain't it? It's interesting. It's cool, but it's desert. It's desert people, right? Visiting my friend Moneymaker in the hospital, hoping he gets released today or tomorrow. He'll be off for a week or two. I'll be back on Monday or Tuesday to hike the aqueduct. Gotcha. Ooh, I'll say that when you do that, make sure you do it, at night. I know you've heard all that, but congratulations though on making it that far. That's so awesome. And I hope your friend gets better soon. That stinks. Oh yeah, here's all our war eagles and whatnots. Wayne says, thanks for the Q&A. Are you vlogging the hike with your mom? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely will be. Jim says, what you doing for your voice? You sound better now. Hope you feel a little better soon. Take care of your voice. You'll need it. Prayers for y'all, Mom, and Fancy on the PCT. Thank you, Jim. Yeah, I've been drinking some tea. I always put honey in my coffee. But other than that, I really haven't been doing much for it. Thankfully, I'm not a singer, so I don't have to get paid for my voice. Let's see. Patrick says, hey, Dixie, too hot for coffee today. Good luck on PCT. Are you still going to be posting every Wednesday or mixing it up? No, we'll be posting every Wednesday. I mean, unless we just get like way more content than normal, then we'll be posting just once a week. So, but if we ended up with a bunch, we might post twice a week. So we'll see. I don't think we will though, but William says, don't think they'd have a pack to fit my 255-pound Mastiff. Then again, he's the type that would want to take a nap every half mile on trail. Yeah, that's awesome. What about the body weight to pack ratio of your pack weighing 20 or 25% of your body weight? Yeah, I don't do a good job following rules for myself, I guess. I'm not going to overload her. I'm just not. And I'm carrying a camera equipment and all that stuff. So I just have to take it slow. But this way it'll slow me down for Mom, But yeah, I don't know. I guess I never pay attention to the pack weight ratio for myself. But that's a good question. Chris says, have you ever done any hiking and camping at Sipsey Wilderness up your way? Any good barbecue in that area if I head up there? Is Perk out there hiking? Any way to track him? Oh, I see. My mom just got home from the vet with Caroline. I saw something out the window. I was like, what is that creature walking around? So I've been in the Sipsey Wilderness area. I've not done any backpacking up there. It's just been for when I was working up that way. I don't know about barbecue, but there's good barbecue like everywhere in Alabama. So, and Perk is actually at my house right now. He went to trail days and then he's passing through. He's moving to New Mexico, so he just happened to pass through. But I left the vet and came here to do this because then I have to go out back and record videos. Hi, Montana.
Hey, friends. Hey, Justin.
Hi.
Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
I didn't know it was locked.
You're okay. So anyway, he's at my house, like hanging out, I guess. He's been hanging out on the couch for a couple of days, but it would have been cool if I could have done the Q&A with him in it, but I needed to get here and get stuff done. So, but anyway, yeah. So, I don't think he's going to be backpacking out this way though. He's heading to New Mexico. He's moving there with his friend, so. Let's see. Jim says, yes, Dixie, they do have equestrian horse and dog massage training. Friends of mine, massage therapists, got training in both. I could send more info for schools if interested. Yeah, I mean, you can, but it won't be something that I do anytime soon. Well, I guess I could learn from my own dogs, but yeah, I don't know. I think about that a lot, so that's cool. I didn't even think about horses. That's crazy. Your tufts look very nice. Well, thank you. Yeah, they're slowly straightening out. What?
I'm just listening.
Well, come say hi.
No, I look rough.
Quiet, I look rough. Come on.
Okay.
Montana. Come show them the shirt you're wearing. Look at this. My sister loves me, y'all.
Favorite
Ooh.
sister representing.
Yeah, she is. Oh, what'd you?
Sorry. It was coffee.
You soiled my shirt.
No.
You soiled my shirt. You disrespect.
It's the outside of the cup.
At least if you have, if you
got
have to
iced
spill
coffee.
something, at least it's coffee. So.
No, I didn't spill it.
I'll take that.
It's the water.
Oh, okay.
on the side of the
That's
cup.
how you spill.
Oh.
Mom, come say hi.
You sure?
Yes, I'm sure. She said, "Are you sure?"
Please continue talking.
I don't know if they can hear y'all. I have this mic right here. But yeah, I don't know if y'all heard all of that interaction. Yeah. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. I'm very
Are you
ready.
nervous?
No.
Oh, that's not good. You should be.
Why?
I don't know.
I'm
I'm nervous. Okay, I'm not nervous.
You're not nervous?
I didn't make
No.
a playlist for her.
Oh, yeah, you need to do that.
So many people have said, "Are you nervous?" And I'm like, "No."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh my gosh, you know."
Oh, you
why?
have. That means you have lack of self-preservation.
No, I'm just ready to go. Ready.
The road trip's gonna be fun. I'm excited for that. I'm excited to just like pull out of the driveway, and I'm tired. I'm tired right now. I've been going, trying to get stuff done to get ready. So I'm ready.
Yeah.
And Montana and I are getting tickets to Spain tonight. High five.
Maybe. I get off at 11.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Sorry for the
Did you
the
get
family
Pixie a dog
takeover.
treat?
No, I'm a bad
I
mom.
only got 2, but
I don't know that she'll eat it. She wouldn't eat it last time. I had to give it to Hank.
well, Carolina won't eat hers there.
Oh, okay.
She'll eat it.
Okay, so thank you for the two. Ew, is that something? Do I have something stuck in my teeth? I don't know. I can't tell. See, I still, like, they had to pull 4, though, to make room, because they said if they straightened them without those 4, that they would, like, stick out, because they're pulling them back and making space for them. Anyway, thank you for noticing that there is progress being made. Andrea says, I know a lot of people like Camino. Francis for their first Camino since has infrastructures and can make Camino families. Yeah, that's what I've heard too. Robin says, after your mom completes her adventure with you, will she have earned the right to do at least one Q&A with you? Yes, like she could come in here now. In fact, she's here, and I know y'all have asked before about Q&As. When we do Q&As, because we'll be doing Q&As while we're out there, like I always do with y'all while I'm on the hike. So she'll sit in on those for sure. But if y'all have a question for her today, I mean, she's here, so feel free to ask it. Thomas says, don't worry about your sponsor thing. We all know you're in the pocket of Snickers, and they didn't even make it into your top 5 desserts. Yeah. I totally did that so nobody would guess, my affiliation with them. But, woot woot. Okay, Mark says, I got here late. Have you talked about your upcoming speaking engagement at Blue Blaze Brewery? I snagged a couple tickets and I'm looking forward to it. Oh, cool. Thank you for coming. So Mark met Marty at the Wofford College Talk. Hank, you are trying to pull my laptop off the table on purpose. I know that's what you're doing. He's down here. Mark met Marty there. So I did announce that he will be playing music before the talk. So I think it'll be like a mingling, like meet and greet type thing while he's playing music, and then I'll talk after the music. So I'm excited. You already got tickets. If y'all are interested, I'm not trying to like sell this to y'all or anything like that. But if you are planning to go to that, then you should probably go ahead and get tickets. The only reason I say that is I know that they've sold 80 in the last week, and they're selling 150 total. So over half of them are already gone. So just a heads up. But if you are planning on going, okay. But yeah, the thing at Blue Blaze Brewery, I'm just gonna go up there, music, meet and greet, and then the talk. So it'll be like the one at Wofford College, but a different setting with beer. So that's cool. Dixie says, so happy to catch a Q&A. Yeah, I'm glad that all of y'all are tuning in. 53 folks now. Jim says, when will the next Q&A be? Can you do a live Q&A on the trip out there? Updates on traveling on the road. I might do a Q&A just on the fly while we're going out there. We'll see. But while I'm on this trip, we will definitely do some Q&As. So probably more frequently than we have been, because there will be stuff to talk about directly, what's going on out there and on the trail. Got to run, Dixie. Thanks for the Q&A, and I look forward to updates from your upcoming adventure with Fancy and your mom. Thank you. I appreciate that. Alan says, such a beautiful smile, even with all the hardware. Thank you. I hate them. I really do, but I don't care. I'm just so over, like, I've had these teeth, the flipper deals break so many times that I'm just over it. Like, I just want a permanent fix. So, let's see. And William, I hope you have a good day. I hope you have a good rest of the weekend. Susie says, what is your mom looking forward to the most about the hike? Mom? Dakota?
Well, let me go get it.
Okay. My guess is going to be spending time with me. Maybe she won't say that. She's not a bad mom if she doesn't say that, because she might think that y'all want to know specifically about the trail. But I'm going to guess that, and like seeing new things, like new states. We'll see what her answer is. So that's my guess. My guess is going to be getting to hang out with her favorite daughter, her favorite child. I'm just kidding, Dakota.
Yeah.
And my brother was standing right there, so I had to find a way to offend him. But I will say that, and seeing new states and sites. We'll see. I have a question for you.
Okay.
Well, I don't have a question for you, but they do.
Okay.
You have to come over here so they can hear you.
Okay.
All right. They want to know, what is your? Or you could pull. Do you want a chair?
No.
Okay.
This is fine.
They want to know. Let's see. Oops. What is your mom looking forward to most about the hike?
Time away from all the stress.
Your children?
Well, I would say the dogs, but we're going to have one of those with us.
Yeah.
Just getting away. And actually, I haven't had like major quality time with her since she was 10 years old, because I started having all the other babies, and then, so we didn't have the quality time then, which, of course I love my other babies, but, just looking forward to that. I think.
Boom! I nailed it. I guessed that.
Did you
Yeah,
really?
yeah. I was like, I think she's gonna say getting to spend time with me, but she's not a bad mom if she doesn't say that, because she might think y'all are talking about specifically something about the trail. So yeah.
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 No, I'm
nailed
just,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
So,
What would be your next the second thing you're looking forward to about the trip?
just, I've never been to California.
Boom! I nailed the second one too. Okay.
Oh, you
I
just
said
done me so
seeing new
well.
stuff, seeing new states.
I've
and
never
stuff.
been to Oregon, and never been to Washington, never been to Canada.
Yeah. Is your passport in yet?
No.
Okay. They're gonna mail it to us though.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I have to find mine.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yes,
Yeah.
that's it.
Okay. Cool. All right. Well, I'll holler at you if they have another one.
Okay.
Okay. Somebody asked like when do you earn the right to be on a Q&A? And I was like, she can't be now, but while we're out there, I'm sure we'll be.
Well, I've been on one before too.
Yeah, you have. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, she already has.
This is my second.
Oh, yeah. Oh. She said this is her second. Yeah, she actually was on one before. Yep. Okay. Let's see. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. I just burped. That is rude. Okay. See, I got to channel my inner hiker. It's got to come back out. So, Gary says, delightful Q&A. As always, good luck to you, Mom and Fancy. Thank you, Gary. Thank you. Jim says, Dixie, are you getting implants put in? Yes, right here, where that one fake one is. This one's like tiny, and they had to like build it up. But I do have something in my teeth, don't I? I can't tell. Oh, well, sorry if I do, y'all. It's gross, but it must be cinnamon. Oh my gosh, let me swish real quick. I can't tell. Oh well, sorry. But anyway, so yeah, implant there. This one's little, like it was a little peg tooth, and they had to build it up, so they're gonna like make that look better, I guess, or put a veneer over it or something. But hopefully, it'll be all done with the teeth thing. I'm done. I'm done dealing with it. So. Mark says, Marty is an awesome dude. Looking forward to hearing him picking and you speaking. Yay! Well, good. Yeah, he's been working on some more original songs and stuff like that. So my favorite one is called Memories. But yeah, he actually just started a YouTube channel the other day just so he can put some covers up there. And it's Marty Brooks Music if you want to go look at it. But MardeBrooks, but he's only got one video up there, and it's just him and some of his friends singing a song called Lonely Ain't Easy, which is like a great song, but it's not theirs, it's just a cover. Anyway, so Dixie, favorite part of trail days, meeting all of the amazing people that I met there and talking to everybody. I mean, it killed my voice, but it was so much fun getting to meet folks. Brad says, training my Philmont crew, your vids have helped me get them ready and gear up. It will be a challenge. Awesome. I hope y'all have so much fun. That's really cool. I mean, on trips like that, you make so many memories that you'll just never forget, for sure. Susie says, awesome, love it. What a special trip. Yeah, I know my mom. I guess pretty well. Alan says, how many sections do you have to hike, and are they all in California? No. So there's one in Idlewild. There is one in Etna, so 2 in California. And then there are, I want to say 2 to 3 in Oregon. And then maybe the same in Washington. I can't remember the exact number, but it's actually in a text message because me and Milestone, the girl that I was hiking with around that time in Oregon and Washington, she and I were like talking about it and nailing down the exact miles, but some of them I'll be able to get into the exact location, and some of it I'm going to have to re-hike because I went in, touched the south end of the closure, and came back out, so I doubled back. So I'll have to hike that little piece a third time on some of them, but that's okay. It's just part of it. Is Aaron on the AT and vlogging his hike? Not yet. He is still going out there. He just hasn't started yet. So he may end up doing like a flip-flop type deal. I told him, I was like, this is really late to be starting, but there are people who have hiked it in 100 days, but he's going to be editing while he's out there also. But he's got it. So he knows how to do a through hike now. So he'll figure it out. But when he gets out there and starts sharing videos, I will definitely let y'all know for sure. Speaking of dental work, we noticed your right front tooth has claimed its rightful place. Correct. Let's see. Right front tooth. Are you talking about my right front tooth? Or I still don't know. I don't think there's anything there. Are you talking about this or my right front? Or which one? What you mean? Explain to me what you mean. John says, I'm not sure, but I don't think that I noticed anything wrong with your teeth. Just seeing your smile blocked everything else from my side, I guess. Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, I mean, there's not that it was like, oh my gosh, there's, something so wrong. Somebody messaged me and they were upset kind of that I got braces. Like they thought I was being vain because I wanted straight teeth. And the thing is, if it was just for the sake of straight teeth, I promise you, I would not have gone through all this, because getting 4 teeth pulled just for the sake of my mouth being pretty, that hurts, and braces hurt. Like I was much stronger as a middle schooler than a grown woman with braces, because I had them in middle school, but my wisdom teeth didn't get removed, so they got all bunched up again. But the main reason, 100% why I decided to get them was I just want an implant. I want a permanent fix, and I know I could have done a bridge, but even that is not necessarily 100% fix, and this could have complications, but it's a more permanent thing, and that's I've been dealing with this my whole life, since middle school when they put those braces on. As soon as I took them off in 8th grade, I've had some kind of retainer or flipper that has a tooth on it. I have so many of them have been broken, and it's always like when I'm heading to a concert, when I'm in a business lunch talking to a client, on the way to a concert, prom night. I mean, bad times, y'all. Bad times to be toothless. So, and I'm not vain. I mean, I guess maybe that is kind of vain, not wanting to have a tooth out, but I don't feel like I'm just this overly vain person that's like, oh, I must completely beautify myself, or like I'm afraid people won't like me. It's not that. I mean, it's just like it's inconvenient. I'm tired of it. So that's why I did it. So I just told that person, I was like, I'm very sorry, like this hurts you, but this is for me, and like the convenience of not having to deal with a fake tooth anymore. It wasn't because I just want to be pretty, but even still, if it was, like, who cares? So anyway, everyone's entitled to have whatever opinion they want. So, and I'm not going to try to change it. All right, let's see. Oh, this is Meg's mom. Okay, gotcha. Love your mom, and having 6 kids myself. I get it. Gotcha. Okay, so Kelly is Meg's mom. When I was like South Lake Tahoe, Kelly. I gotcha. Okay. Andrew says, when you use the Nemo tent, did you like it? Yes. I actually like the Nemo Hornet better than the Big Agnes Fly Creek UL2. And the Nemo Hornet 2-person would be great. The 1-person was fine, smaller. But the reason I say I like it more is because it opens up from the side so it opens along the longer side, not the end. So you don't have to crawl in like a dog kennel. You can kind of like roll out the side, so I like that better. How was Living Free in Tennessee event y'all did last month? It was great. So Nicole, that is part of y'all's benefits as being a patron. You get a discount on MT Knives, Patrick's Knives. He was also at Trail Days selling knives and sharpening knives. And then on Hollow Roast Coffee. So, and she's working on a freeze-dried coffee, so like trail coffee. But anyway, so y'all get discounts on both of those. I need to make a post with both of those discount codes. I know that I send them in the thank you email, but I need to make sure Nicole's code is in there for that. But anyway, y'all get a discount on those things. It's not like, oh, please go buy this or anything like that. It's just if you're gonna buy that coffee, or if you're gonna buy a knife, then as a patron you get a discount. So it's kind of cool. Ashley says, hi Dixie, I'm excited to be here for my first Q&A. Well, congrats. I guess not congrats, it's like it's not that exciting, right? But but thank you for being here. And I just always get excited when it's somebody's first Q&A, because it's like, the first chance to interact like this. So and I've said, and you'll hear me say if you're on more Q&As, it's like a family, like this little Patreon family. It's like a tramily, but like online. So a Patramily, a Patreon family that's related to the trail. But so anyway, I'm glad you're here, and thank you for being here. Carl says, wasn't your right front more up front, making it appear larger? Oh, it was actually like the other one got chipped, like slightly, so it was like shorter. but they have pulled it down. So yeah, they're about even now. Actually, the one that was shorter is now a tiny bit longer, but I'll make sure that it's all even when it's said and done, because if I'm going through it, might as well make it right. So, will you make Money Maker's Day? Wishing him well when I show him that. Oh, sorry. You will make Money Maker's Day, wishing him well when I show him that. He did the AT and this is his second attempt. He's hiking to raise funds and awareness for Alpha 1, a genetic disorder. Oh, and now he's laid up in the hospital. That makes me sad. But yeah, get well. I think that's awesome that you're out there raising funds and awareness for a cause. A lot of people do that, and I think that it's very selfless and awesome. And so good on you. River says, hi, Perk. Yeah, he's not here right now. He's at my house, but I'm at Mom's right now. So, but I will let him know that you said hello, for sure. Ashley says, you're such an inspiration. Thank you. I appreciate that. So many people said that to me at trail days, and I feel like I never know how to respond, because the thing is, like, I'm glad because, I feel like we all get our inspiration somewhere, right? And so I was inspired to get out and hike and to change my lifestyle, and I'm so grateful for that. And I'm actually a supporter of the person, who did that for me. But it's like, I guess sometimes, like, it's weird because I'm just doing something that I love, and I guess in turn that encourages other people to do what they love, right? So I'm very happy, and I appreciate you saying that. That's a huge compliment when somebody tells you that you're inspired by them. But I guess I just feel like I don't know, like I'm not that important, you know what I mean? So it's just crazy when people tell me, like, I wouldn't be out doing this hike if it wasn't for you, and that makes me feel so good, because I've had so many people in my life that have inspired me and helped me be the best me, right? Live my best life or whatever. And I'm so grateful for them. So I'm happy to, like, be able to pay that forward, So everyone just keep passing it along. Keep passing on the inspiration. Jim says, Dixie, you sacrificed a lot of your family and deserve this time with Mom in Montana. Thank you. What about Dad? Any chance he will go hiking with y'all sometime? I think he would rather not. So, he's got some stuff going on with one of his knees. But anyhow, yeah, I think that's not necessarily his forte. So, but he's being supportive of Mom going out there. So that's awesome. I'm happy about that. Ruby Lulu, just wanted to say hi. I've been watching you since the AT. Well, thank you. You've been hanging out a long time then, so I very much appreciate that. Shenandoah is my home turf, a beautiful area. Looking forward to see you hiking again. I have to ask you a question. So it's Shenandoah. Do you say Shenandoah or do you say Shenandoah? Because I hear a lot of AT hikers saying Shenandoah, and I'm like, it's Shenandoah. But I'm wondering if if locals say Shenandoah and I'm the one that's saying it not properly. But it's spelled Shenandoah. So I'm just curious if you don't mind answering that. But thank you very much for the kind words. All right, well, that is all the questions. Whoops, we have up there for now. So I'm going to log on to Patreon on my computer. That's how I always do it. So for the folks who couldn't be here that left questions, and I actually have not had a chance to pre-look at these. So normally I do ahead of time. That way I don't have to spend time being like, but let's see. Just make sure. Oh, here we got some more up here. Let's see. Oh, whoops, I forgot the chat was today. How much of interesting stuff did I miss? Oh, nothing. We've just been sitting here sipping coffee. Well, I am anyway. I think a lot of folks think that it's too hot, but I'm like, it's never too hot, too cold, too anything, too late, too early for coffee, so. But, yeah, we've just been hanging out and chatting and drinking coffee or whatever on this fine Saturday. I'm glad you stopped in, though. Gribbly says, just stopping in to say hello and wish all well. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Jim says, so sorry I missed meeting Perk. He was talking with Deanna. Oh, dang. Yeah, they were just chatting it up, catching up and stuff. Anytime is coffee time. My thoughts exactly. My thoughts exactly. Okay. All right. I'm going to make sure that I get, for the folks who couldn't be here, I always make a post. So if y'all ever can't be on the Q&A when I announce it, in that post, if you just leave comments with your questions, then I'm happy to answer them. And I always do it at the end. That way they can watch it if they don't want to watch the whole thing and just find their question, they can. And I mean, y'all feel free to still ask questions up here, though, by all means. Let's see. I think I asked this already, but have you talked about how you deal with wet weather when it lasts for more than a day or two? Yeah, I've done a video on that. That's from John. I've actually done a video of like dealing with rain on the Appalachian Trail. And then I think here recently, during the 2-week thing, I think I did dealing with weather. So yeah, I mean, I just air things out when I get a chance, but if it rains for several days, you just deal with it. So I always keep my tent on the outside of the pack then. That way I'm not putting more moisture in it. And that way if it lightens up a little bit, then the tent has a little bit more time to kind of dry out and drip water off of it instead of me toting that water inside the pack. And I have a bandana that I wipe the floor with. But it really depends on whether it's hot or cold. But yes, I have done 2 videos on that. So, and the most recent video should have a lot of tips for how people kind of deal with some of that. So, let's see. Oh, Ruby and Lulu, names of my cats. I have no idea what the correct pronunciation is. Okay, Heather. It always comes out Shenandoah when I say it. Okay, so you do say Shenandoah. Okay, all right, gotcha. James says, thoughts on stuff sacks. Which gear do you use stuff sacks for? Like how many sacks roughly do you generally have in your pack? Okay, my phone said that it wants to die. So I am about to plug it up. Let me see. I found my charger cord. Sorry, y'all. I try to leave the mic in so it like the sound is better on these. But then it tries to die. So I'm going to have to get one of those little things that allows me to charge and have a headphone jack in at the same time. I have to do that. Okay, so the sound is going to change, so y'all be prepared. Hopefully it's not like horrible or anything like that. Okay. All right, so stuff sacks. You want to know about stuff sacks. So let's talk about that. I don't use a lot of stuff sacks. It's just, to me, added weight that I don't need. For things like toiletries and repair kit and all that, I use a gallon Ziploc bag. Or a quart one, it depends on how much you have. They're lightweight. They can be replaced. Stuff sacks, you're going to have the roll top and something that clips it. That just is going to weigh more than a Ziploc bag. So I just use Ziplocs. But for my sleeping bag, I don't even use a stuff sack. I just put it in the bottom of a compactor bag that I line my pack with. And then I do have my clothes in a stuff sack. I have my tent in a stuff sack. I think that's it. That's really it. Everything else is in a Ziploc bag or, put in that compactor bag and roll it down. I did have the drone that I carried in a waterproof stuff sack on the outside of my pack. So, but that's it. That's all the stuff sacks. So but Perk though, he likes the stuff being organized and he has different stuff sacks for everything. So it's really personal preference. But if you take all of those stuff sacks and you weigh all of them and compare it to weighing Ziplocs, you might change your mind or you might not. It might be worth it to you to have all those because you like the way that it's organized. So, it depends. Depends on you. John says, can you say a few words about what trail experiences you're most looking forward to sharing with your mom? I'm really looking forward to spending the time with her. I'm excited to see her cooking on her stove, and just learning kind of all that stuff. I'm excited for her to see some different critters. I'm excited to see like what routine she ends up liking And also, I don't know, like the way that she ends up preferring her pack to be packed and stuff like, just like people do things differently. And all I can show her is the way that I do and explain to her why that works for me. And then she's going to have to change it up, to fit her needs. So I'm just really excited to see like how she does things. So, and just to spend the time with her. Cause like she says, since I was 10, we haven't really spent a whole lot of quality time together. Cause that's when the next child arrived. So, Jim says, wondering the pic on Pikes Peak, did you make that sign or was it already up there? It was up there. It was already up there. On a climb like that, where do you go to the bathroom? You're supposed to go in a Ziploc bag. Yeah, with the 100-foot leave no trace rules out the window. Yeah, you're supposed to, when you're on like a summit like that, you're supposed to go in a bag. On Mount Whitney, I had to go hide in a little hut and go in a Ziploc bag and then towed it out. I just buried it. Once I got down below tree line, I buried it. So yeah, I mean, sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. So you figure it out. But yeah, you're not supposed to go up there. You can't really dig a hole with all those rocks and everything. So I can't say that there weren't people who didn't pull the rocks away and go and stack rocks on it. It's not what you're supposed to do. So, but that's a good question though. So do you have several Ziplocs in the pack then, or just a toiletries one? No, I have several. So I've got like one for toiletries. I normally have my first aid kit and a repair kit as one in a quart bag, and a lot of times I'd put it in that toiletries gallon bag. I have a gallon bag for my toilet paper and baby wipes. I have a gallon bag around my journal so it doesn't get wet. And I think that's it. Oh, and then I do have one for electronics also. That's what it is. I have one for a gallon Ziploc bag for like with my backup battery chargers, my charger cords, things like that. So, Larry says, for awesome scenery as a section hike, would you suggest the Sierras, Glacier, Wind River, or someplace else? Man, that's tough. Okay, in a bad snow year, not the Sierras. But the Sierra and the Wind River Range would be the two that I would tell people. But the Wind River Range is gorgeous. It really, really is. I felt more like, I don't know, the Sierra seemed more like open to me though. I don't know why, but I felt like I could see more for longer distances, but maybe I'm remembering incorrectly. But like, so for example, if you were gonna go somewhere this year, I would just see which of those is the best place. Glacier is beautiful. It's unfair though for me to tell you to judge Glacier because I couldn't see a lot of it because it was the snowing. It was just whiteout conditions. So I don't really feel like it's fair for me to rank that one. But all those areas, you cannot go wrong. But if I was to do another area again, I really would like to see the Sierra and not high snow year, or like in a time when the snow had melted already. So that's probably where I'd like to go back first. But yeah, the Wind River Range would probably be my next pick. Or after the Sierra, I might, like, once I felt like I had seen the Sierra in normal conditions, then I don't know. I would say the Sierra Nevada is probably more epic than the Wind River. It's hard, but I kind of think so. Okay, yeah, I'll stick with that decision. Sarah says, hey Dixie, I'm training to hike the Cornish coast in England with my mom next summer. Awesome. So your videos have helped me a lot. I'm losing weight but concerned that I won't find gear in plus sizes. Any tips? You know, that is a good question. I don't know. I don't know. I can't tell you a definitive answer. What I can offer you though is if you're a member of the Homemade Wanderlust Backpacking Forum group on Facebook, if you post a question in there and ask about that, then I'm sure people, can weigh in on that. Also, if you're part of the women's group, some of the women's hiking groups, like if you don't feel comfortable just like throwing it out there, then you can ask in some of those. And then, what is that second chance hiker? I'm not sure like what pack he was using or what he did, because he was, significantly overweight when he began the journey. So you might want to check out what his gear list is, and I'm sure that he has it posted. So maybe that could give you some leads. I mean, not that you would have the same gear or anything like that, but it might just give you some ideas. So I hope that helps some. Yeah, I'm just not sure, but good on you for going out to do that with your mom, and for you being healthy and trying to lose some weight and get out there and be active. That's awesome. So and the fact that you will also get to share an experience like that with your mom is really cool. But yeah, if you haven't heard of Second Chance Hiker, he's got a pretty inspirational story. And he is currently through hiking the Pacific Crest Trail. So that might just help you. Or like I said, some of those groups. Jim says, Dixie, you're so humble. You're a big deal. So special to so many folks. Thank you, Jim. I appreciate that. James, let's see, stuff sack for clothes. Can't remember if you said that. Yes. Yeah, I do use a Cuban Fiber Z-Packs stuff sack for my clothes. Dixie, small low sack bag would be good to carry for bathroom purposes. Okay, cool. Yeah, like, are you talking about like those OpSack? Those OpSack bags would be good. Is Jimbo asking where to go to the bathroom on Pikes Peak? There's a camp 6 miles in on the trail up. Also, there's a shop at the top with a bathroom. Oh, he might have said Pikes Peak. If he did, if he's talking about me, then he's talking about Gray's Peak. So I don't know if he said Pikes Peak. I'm sorry. And maybe he meant Pikes Peak. I'm sorry. So I might have misunderstood. So Robin, thank you for that information. There you go, Jim. If you're going to do Pikes, then there's a camp 6 miles on the trail up, or 6 miles in on the trail up. Also, there's a shop at the top with a bathroom. So there you go. That's awesome. Yes. Above tree line can definitely be tricky. So I'm sorry if I misunderstood y'all. Have you ever used a buff? I've heard a lot of good things about them, but haven't got one yet. I haven't ever used one. Some people will find them really useful. I haven't ever wanted for one, so. But a lot of people use buffs. If you carry a foam pad on the outside of your pack, then it rains. How do you keep it from getting your tent and sleeping bag all wet? Pack towel, shake it off. Honestly, everything's gonna be soaked. So, yeah, I would just, like when I was putting on my tent, things got wet in there, like rain's gonna drop in there. Everything's like damp, so it's not like you have this super dry tent that you're putting up. So I would just put up my tent, and then I would take like a bandana and wipe down the best I could. Throw my sleeping pad in there, and yeah, do the same thing. But it's gonna be damp. Having a little dampness isn't really gonna hurt anything. It can affect the loft a little bit on your sleeping bag if you have a down bag, but I always recommend getting a down bag that is treated with like that dry down, so it's treated down to help repel water and resist getting wet. Now that doesn't mean that it can get soaked and not get wet, because it will get soaked. But yeah, if you're gonna have a down sleeping bag, then that's what I recommend for sure. But yeah, everything's gonna be damp and just kind of gross. So you do the best you can, wipe things off with a bandana, but it's all gonna be damp. Jim says, good to carry it in a biodegradable bag. That's one thought. Larry says, I've got a local friend who has spent some serious time in Glacier and loved it, but my mother and grandmother were for California and loved the Sierras enormously. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, all of that is so beautiful. Jim says Gray's Peak, sorry. Oh, okay. Yeah, there's nowhere. There's no bathroom. I would recommend going before you get above tree line, and then if you have to go on the way up, then you gotta just, capture it somehow and then tote it down and bury it. That's what I did anyway on Mount Whitney. So, okay, so I think the question about the rain that came in from John, yeah, the wet weather for several days, you just do the best you can. Try to keep everything as dry as possible and dry things out if you do get a break in the rain. But things will just be damp. And I do have the 2 videos, how to deal with rain on the Appalachian Trail, and then I did another one like hiking in inclement weather or something like that on that 2-week series that I did. Ashley says, let's see. Oh, Ashley said you wouldn't be able to attend, but here you are. So that's awesome. So you asked about Fancy. Will she have her own pack for the PCT? Yes. It's the, and I already answered this, but in case anyone else missed it, the Palisades, the Rough Wear Palisades pack. If so, what will be in it? I haven't quite decided what exactly she's going to tote yet. So how much extra water will you have to carry so that both you and her will have enough? So I'll probably carry probably double of whatever I need to, and I'll be able to hone that in more as we go and I see exactly how much she's drinking and all that. But it's going to depend, so I can't give a guaranteed number of exactly what we'll be carrying because it's going to depend on how far apart the water sources are. So I normally carry for myself, let's see, a liter for 4 miles is about what I do, and that's after I get out there and get acclimated to it. When I first start, it's about a liter for 2 miles. So I'll probably just double that number to feel good about it, and then we'll go from there and just adjust accordingly. So okay, let's see. What do you think about the snow situation? The recent weather has set back the melting process by at least a week, if not 2. Will it become another 2017 summer for the PCT? And try to spare your voice, care for it. So, yeah, the snow situation is rough, and I don't know, and I don't know what this holds for us on this trip. It's kind of a bummer. It's like 2017, the snow is coming back to get me, but we're gonna do the best we can, and I'll fill in the ones in California for sure, and we'll just, we'll go with it. We'll see. We'll play it by ear. But yeah, I really hate it for the folks out there this year having to deal with a high snow year. So that's at you, River. Bless your heart having to deal with it. But it seems like you're staying in good spirits though. So Bob said, is that Deanna off to the right in the booth? Oh, she was asking about, or he was asking about the pictures from Trail Days. Let's see. Hello, Dixie. I admire your dedication to finishing the PCT with continual footprints. It speaks well of your character. I have been to Spain 4 times, but always in tourist area along the Mediterranean coast, and 1 small trip to Basque Country. I hope you will love it. Okay, so let's see. All right, so that wasn't necessarily a question, but yeah, thank you, Peter. I really appreciate that. If you're watching this. Okay, let's see. So my question is, all right, this is from Nadine. Snow. Okay, yep, we talked about that. So, yeah, I really don't know what's going to happen. Just going to have to play it by ear. Stuart. Okay. Let's see. Great pictures. Okay, let's see. All right, one more. Sorry, but now I'm thinking. Okay, no, that wasn't a question either. Okay, so I think that was all the questions of folks who couldn't be here. If you're watching this and you couldn't be here for the live deal and you have a question that you thought that you asked on this news feed, or if you sent me, if you sent me a message, then I'll answer it. But anyway, if you had a question and you missed the live Q&A and you're watching now, feel free to send me a message and I will get back to you on that for sure. So, okay, let's see if we have any more up here for folks who are here. Let's see. Is the gear list for you, Mom, and Fancy posted yet? Nope, not yet. I'll definitely work on that on the drive out there because we're going to rotate out drivers. And so I've been like prioritizing like things that must be done before we get in the vehicle, excuse me. So it'll be up when the first video posts for sure because I want to include it in that, video description. So, and that'll help me give me a little more time to hone in. I'll probably go ahead and post exactly what we're going to have in our packs when we start, and then I can post any adjustments. So, yeah. James says, thoughts on earth sack versus regular bear bag. Anyone else thoughts are appreciated too. So I think earth sacks are great. And I had somebody show me at Trail Days, he puts it's kind of like a Brillo pad, but like the stainless steel scrubby stuff that you would do dishes with. He takes his earth sack because he said some people have mentioned like mice getting into it anyway, where you cinch it up. So he'll cinch it up and then stuff that right there in the hole so they can't get in. So I thought that was a pretty genius idea. I guess especially like when it's full. Or if you just stick it out, they can't push it in or pull it out. But anyway, so earth sacks I think are great for areas like the desert where you don't have trees and you're worried about rodents and things like that getting into it, coyotes, etc. So you can just lasso your earth sack to a stump or a bush or something like that, and you don't have to worry about something tearing into your food. It weighs more though, so if I can have the traditional bear bag, then I'm gonna go with that. But if I had it all to do again in grizzly country, I didn't feel good about some of our hangs up there, like that they were properly hung. But we did the best we could, and the national parks up there have the designated hang areas, which are really nice. But I do wish that I would have had an earth sack in grizzly country personally. But yeah, so it's really just personal preference and really where you're going to be hiking. Is there going to be an opportunity for good hangs? If there aren't, are you potentially putting yourself at risk or other people at risk because bears learn to associate food with humans? So, it just really depends on where you're going to be hiking at. But I've heard good things about earth sacks. So hopefully that helps a little bit. Marjorie says, gotta run. Thanks for sharing your life with us. All the best. Thank you, Marjorie. Thank you for stopping in. Have a good rest of the weekend. Kevin says, good luck on the trip and have fun. Patrick says, steel wool. Mice can't get through that stuff. Yep. So yeah, that'll work. So if you do the earth sack and you're concerned about the hole where it cinches up, then you can do that and you'll be good to go. So yeah, I would like to try an earth sack though. Maybe I should give something like that a go on this trip just for the sake of like knowing how they work and function and all that. But we won't be in anywhere that requires bear canisters, thank goodness. So yes, that does help. I figured the weight was probably a difference between the two. Yeah, they're definitely significantly different in weight. Especially if you have something like the Cuban Fiber Z-Packs bear bag versus an earth sack, because this is like a bulletproof material versus like super lightweight material. Wayne says, have a great time with your mom and Fancy. Thank you very much. Thomas says, have a great time with your mom and Fancy, and just for the future, it is always safe to assume it's nice to see. Well, thank you. You're gonna make me blush. Hey Thomas, I ate at the Irish Bread Pub last night, so with Perk, and he was like, isn't this where we met Thomas? And I was like, yes, it is. So anyway, we thought about you. But anyway, all right, y'all. Well, if y'all don't have any other questions, if you do, feel free to ask. But if not, then I reckon I'm gonna run off here and start knocking some of these videos out that I have to do today, 1.5, and then we should be heading out tomorrow. So thanks for the Q&A. Have a great time on your trip. Thank you. Thank y'all so much for stopping in today and for your support. I could not be going and doing this if it wasn't for y'all. So I'm so grateful. I feel like the luckiest person in the world. I told so many people that at Trail Days, it's like if people didn't watch and they weren't interested in this, and especially y'all here on Patreon supporting me, I could do it, but it would be a lot longer in between. So I would not have done as much as I have. So thank y'all very, very much. And I will be checking in with y'all. I'll be posting a lot as we're heading out there. So y'all be looking for that. Hopefully I don't blow you up too much and annoy y'all, but we might do a live Q&A on the fly, but we'll certainly do one, as we get started and update y'all.